First up, we have the cotton candy book cover made by Renea. She made it out of just cotton and just acrylic yarns. She said the inspiration was cotton candy in granny squares. She freehanded the clouds and added pearls to the middle to tie it all together. Next is Deborah's silver blue crystal pearl necklace, a self-designed piece made out of DMC Sibelia No. 20 cotton thread. She said she originally designed this modified Turkish chain link necklace for a late student she taught for 10 years. They love to crochet Austrian Swarovski and prestige pearl crystal bead jewelry. Next, we have Helene's string of pearls scarf. Helene made this out of scarfy and chenille yarn. She made it for the CGOA contest. Melissa made this spiral seashell blouse for her mom. The pattern is by Crochet Beja, and the yarn is from Silk City Fibers. She added a pearl to each seashell and 30 pearls around the collar for CGOA's 30th anniversary. Absolutely gorgeous. Finally, in our pearl category, we have the 100% Perfect Baby Blanket by Nancy Liggins, crocheted by Michelle out of Karen 1-pound yarn for a neighbor's firstborn who was born 1 month premature. The blanket says, Nora, 50% mommy, 50% daddy, 100% perfect. In the home category, we have a lot of blankets. We will be very cozy this year. First up is The Study of Determination by Michael Selleck, crocheted by Kelly. I used Plymouth Encore Brights and rolled a dice to determine the color order. I donated it to a silent auction to benefit my favorite convention, Penguicon. Next is Debbie's Tiffany Windows Table Runner. This was the fourth quarter 2023 CGOA CAL by Jennifer Olivares. Debbie used Aunt Lydia's No. 10 crochet cotton. She said she does not use scarves, so she made a table runner instead. Valerie made this adorable Mickey blanket for her son who loves Mickey. She used Red Heart, Super Saver, and Karen yarns. She says that when his eyes lit up when seeing it made all the late nights crocheting worth it. Sandy made this Sashiko Shadow Play quilt out of Lion Brand Ferris Wheel and Lion Brand Pound of Love. This is her own design. She used the Tunisian in the round technique with the 5 main blocks and 4 blocks of a different design. She put the color changes in the corner and assembled to achieve the quilt look. Jean gave this cozy blanket called Amazing Grace, a self-design, out of big twist yarn to her aunt for her aunt's 86th birthday. She said her aunt is doing well, going strong, and lives without aids or assistance. Wendy made this blanket, The Meanwhile, for her boyfriend. Based off the TV show Twin Peaks, there is a room with the red velvet curtains and a black and white chevron floor. While watching the show, she said, I can crochet that, and she did. A bunch of big twist yarn later, the red on red color blocking is disorienting and adds visual dimension to a flat piece. To break up the blankets, Denise made this pillow. It's a container garden under the clouds. She took a Margaret Hubert's Freeform and Granny Square CGOA class and learned a lot. She got this pillow out of it. Made out of various stashed yarns, Denise was learning new techniques, freeform applique onto a background fabric. She said, Margaret provided inspiration and technical know-how on how to sew the pieces together and considerations in combining and arranging the pieces. Denise says the class helped her grow as a crocheter. Back to the blankets, we have Erin's Nordic Star Afghan, a self-designed CAL she hosted. She used Wander acrylic yarn from Furls. It's the first large-scale CAL she designed and hosted, and it was a huge hit. It uses overlay mosaic design with an envelope border. She believes if you can single and double crochet, you can do mosaic. Sandra gave us 2 blankets. Her first is Virtue by Helen Shrimpton. Made from Karen Simply Soft, she says she made it for herself. Helen always uses interesting stitches, which makes for a challenging project. Her second blanket is the Mandala Baby Blanket by Melanie Grobler. This one is also made from Karen Simply Soft. She gave this one to her mother-in-law. Jennifer made this self-designed solar system blanket for her son. She used cotton and acrylic yarns. She also entered it in the state and county fair. Last but not least, we have Bonnie's On a Hill Far Away Easter Blanket. This is a self-designed project. I love those cables. Made out of paint box Simply Aran yarn, she says, the celebratory Easter throw features many different crochet cables that reflect the meaning of Easter. It features 3 crosses representing the crucifixion on Golgotha, framed by crochet cables and trimmed with an edging of crowns. All the cabling is crochet in the round, symbolizing God having no beginning or end. The 3 braided cables represent the Holy Trinity, and the interwoven Celtic weave points to God's infinite qualities of omniscience, omnipotence, and omnipresence. The hymn On a Hill Far Away by George Bernard was my late mother's favorite hymn and inspired me to make this throw. Under apparel, we have a lot of people who have made some really awesome items. I am impressed with all of you. First of all, Joyce designed this peacock motif sweater out of Aunt Lydia's size 10 thread. She made this to enter in the state and local fairs this year. She won first prize in each fair. She made 2 different crochet motifs together. She says she gets a lot of compliments when wearing, and I can see why. Valerie made herself this comfy cardigan by Crow Jennifer out of Red Heart ombre yarn. Making stuff for ourselves is hard, but we can do it. She said she wanted something neutral, a little longer than a coat, and could go with jeans or dress pants. She said it is very cozy and warm. Britt designed this cozy cabin cardi for the winter 2023 Annie's magazine. She made it with Barocco vintage DK. She wanted something stripy, simple, and oversized with an open front and puff sleeves. This is the type of cardigan anyone can make, anytime, anywhere, and with any yarn. Hazel made 2 pullovers for herself. First we have the Whatcha Wearin', a modified version of Vanessa Smith's Whatchamacallit Afghan. She also made herself this leaf motif pullover. She designed the bodice off of a doily she found on Pinterest. Both were made with Tam 3-ply Astacycle yarn. Katie made the Sandpiper sweater, but she modified it to fit herself. She added a stand-up mandarin collar, fitted set-in sleeves, and she made it slimmer and more body-hugging to show off the design. She used Malabrigo Rios, which is my favorite yarn. Amanda made 2 t-shirts. First is the MDSW Maria top. She collected the yarn at the Maryland Sheep and Wool Festival. She got Neighborhood Fiber Company, Yarn Days, Flying Goat Farm, Shirsty Cat, and at Haynes House Yarns. This is a well-traveled shirt because she made it while on an Alaskan cruise. To keep the ends secure, she felted the ends in. She also made the Weffen tee by Joanne Fowler. The Weffen tee is an interlocking woven design where each yarn is worked independently of each other. It was a big challenge, but a wonderful one. Melissa made this Vueltio summer dress out of Aunt Lydia's fashion thread number 3. She made this dress to look like the Colombian hat called the Vueltio in the photo. She used the design from Crochetismo with a modification using triple crochets, inserting the hook 2 rows below. Emily made her own wedding dress. It is absolutely stunning. She modified the pineapple sheath dress by Tammy Hildebrand out of Circular Queen crochet thread in white and Aunt Lydia's in silver. She made her dress, her bridesmaids' dresses, and cardigans for the moms. She did this to honor her grandma, who taught her how to crochet so long ago, but passed when she was little. They also got married on Grandma's birthday. The dress is a pineapple motif. Each motif has 39 beads, and the dress has almost 20,000 beads total. Wendy repurposed this blanket that was falling apart. She fixed it up, added some seams, added a bust, and a bodice. If you add red shoes and red lipstick, she is all ready for Christmas dinner at the Absinthe Bar. Dory made this striped sweater out of reclaimed yarn she got from other people. Helping other people stash bust is great, and you get a cozy sweater out of it. Erin made the Franny Flounce sweater out of Barocco Remix Light. She said the designer, Two Brothers Blankets, is a designer friend of hers, and she bought the pattern to support the pattern release. She started it on a road trip and finished it just before Easter. She was able to wear it at the Crochet Business Summit and meet the designer. Gary made this self-designed pink and mint Montel Granny Square montage suit out of Premier Cotton Sprouts yarn. He says it features 114 granny squares, totaling over 2,700 yards of yarn and 250 hours of work for the top and bottom. The top is a long sleeve, oversized crop top that gives a peekaboo attention to the midsection. The bottoms are high-waisted, drawstring, adjustable stacked pants that have a flared look with 50-50 half crochet squares along the bottom that complement the look and remains functional. Helene made some lovely Hilma mosaic socks from the We Crochet magazine. She used wool yarn and says it's a great way to learn mosaic. Teresa made the Metropolis cardigan by Tatiana out of Megs & Co. BFL sock. I really liked the detail in the bust. Adrian made 2 shawls, both self-designed. The first is for the Philadelphia Eagles. Go Eagles! The second is for the sophisticated lady. During construction, it turned from a poncho into a kimono wrap. Courtney designed both of her entries. Both are gorgeous. First is a Roxana crochet dress out of Anzula Luxury Fibers Nebula. She made this dress for her 40th birthday and to be featured at the H&H America's 2025 show. This is a floor-length dress with a twist bodice, laced back, and 2 splits above the knee. It features the 2 DC cluster and crochet mesh stitch. The skirt is made from 2 colors and overlaps to create the splits at each leg. The second is the Genevieve Bolero made out of mulberry cottage yarns. The Genevieve Bolero was one of 2 designs made for the last Progress, Hope, and Happiness make-along, in which designers and independent dyers from around the world collaborate to create unique colors and designs based on the theme of Old to Renew in honor of the Olympics returning to Paris and the role Paris has played in fashion. This was my first time working with mohair lace weight yarn, and it created the desired airiness needed for the open, oversized long sleeves that are secured at the wrist with a tie. The fingering weight yarn allowed for beautiful stitch definition after blocking, as the lace pattern is at the back with alternating rows of single and double crochet to create sloping front for a cropped bolero. Edith self-designed this Galadriel tank top out of Colette Jitterbug yarn. She began with the hexagons and partial hexagons that made the bodice. The stitch design for the hexagons is a modification of the hexagons in the Pink Snow Blanket by Lila Bjorn. She used a thermal stitch for the straps and added a ruffle. The midriff is composed of single crochet V-stitches and the bottom is edged with a crab stitch. Gloria made the Market cardigan by Tamara Kelly out of Red Heart Granny Square yarn. She said it was a fun Facebook crochet along. She won 3rd place in the Minnesota State Fair. Molly made the Molly top by Jenny King. Actually, Jenny King designed a top after Molly, and her guild decided to do a crochet along out of it. Jenny used an asymmetrical shell stitch for the pattern. Her guild loved the stitch so much, many of their chapter challenge shawls were modified from the Molly top. Gloria made the Lily of the Valley flower fairy out of scrap yarns. This yarn fairy is super cool. She was created as the mascot for the 2024 Minnesota Yarn Shop Hop. She won 3rd place at the Minnesota State Fair and was a good luck charm at the Yarn Shop Hop as Gloria won the grand prize. Congrats, Gloria. Maura made this geometric tote out of Lion Brand 24/7 cotton for herself. She used a tapestry technique from the book The Hooktionary. She lined the tote with stiff interfacing and cotton fabric so it will stand up, and the straps are also lined with cotton. Maura also made this puppy out of brown ombre acrylic yarn for her 7-year-old granddaughter Maddie. This is much easier than a real dog. The dog pattern is by Deb DeZio. Dory made this Pootzel cat bag out of reclaimed yarn for her wife after learning the cat stitch. Tina made this Rainbow Dragon by Crafty Intentions out of Honey Bunny yarn by Hobie. She made this for her daughter who has been asking for a dragon for a long time. The daughter picked the colors and design. Tina says she prefers yarn under for amigurumi because it makes a tighter stitch. Personally, I think a yarn dragon is easier than trying to catch a real dragon. Molly designed a way to attach a mandala to a hula hoop. She taught a class for the Crochet Texas chapter. The objective of the class was to make a way to attach a mandala to a hula hoop by making a channel. Catherine made and designed 2 amigurumi from a Mythosphere series. First, we have the fantastical Finnegan Furry Pants Fawn. Finnegan is made out of Knit Picks Dishy 100% cotton yarn. Catherine said that her company, Freddy Goat Designs, is currently designing mythological creatures and that Finnegan is the second pattern to be released. She is very happy with the hoop stitch legs because it's fun to break into special stitches when doing amigurumi. The second is Anubis Jackal. Jack is made out of yarn and colors must have a 100% mercerized cotton sport weight yarn. The pattern is in testing, but it is based on the Egyptian god of funeral rites. Our favorite features are the little bubble toes and the fact that the neck joint is crocheted, not sewn together. He has a lot of cute parts. Amber made this trophy based off an AI image. She used Red Heart and Karen yarns. She made this for herself, challenging herself to come up with new techniques to achieve what image AI gave her when she prompted it for a trophy. She used 2 new techniques for the body stitches and the ears. Reese became a wrestling fan recently and made this likeness of Cody Rhodes out of Red Heart Super Safer yarn. This is him winning a championship belt. She even got his tattoo done correctly. Michelle made Winnie the Pooh and Piglet 2 for a baby gift for a family friend. Made of acrylic yarn, this duo stands 7 inches tall and is absolutely adorable. Sheena made this nativity from Pattern Bazaar out of cotton yarn for her 5-year-old to give him some Christmas spirit. Kelly made Michael Selleck's Study of Rage out of 14 105-yard skeins of yarn from Spun Wear Over the Rainbow. The blanket was made out of fingering weight versus worsted weight yarn so it can be a wall hanging. It is made of rainbow yarn because queers have rage. Last but not least, we have Joyce's Out of This World space set. Self-designed out of Aunt Lydia's crochet thread, this was made for the Maryland State Fair's space category. She made the space shuttle and doily with the sun in the center. She put planets around the outside and added a string of lights for stars. She won first place. Our first baby item is a blanket by Jennifer. She did the floating away baby blanket out of acrylic yarn. She designed this herself with inspiration by another crocheter from Eldersburg Hooked on Crochet. She said this is for a future grandchild. Joan made 2 baby bobble blankets by Missy Marshall out of Lion brand Ice Cream Big Scoop yarn. Both were for the Children's Hospital of Philadelphia. Margaret designed 2 newborn or baby outfits. The first is Little Ruffles Baptism Christening outfit, made out of size 10 cotton thread. This pattern features post stitches to create ruffles. The outfit includes a slip with matching trim, a dress, bonnet, and button strap shoes. The second is the Newborn Girls Fancy Fans outfit. This one is made out of sport weight yarn. It uses popcorn stitches for visual interest. The outfit contains a onesie, button strap shoes, a bonnet, and a sweater. Olga made this sleeveless sweater out of her own design for her son. She used Elise Lanagold yarn. She hoped her kid would be able to wear it to school, but war in her country prevented that. Debbie made this Summer Belle dress by Mary Betts out of DMC Sabella No. 10 thread. Debbie runs an out-of-print magazine business. She was putting stock on the website when she came across this dress on the front of Fast and Fun Crochet Summer 2001 issue. She made it for her neighbor's daughter who was born April 2024. Debbie says the baby got to wear the dress, but they did not get pictures. Olga made this self-designed shawl off of a knitting pattern out of yarn art colors. She made it as a present for her brother's wife. She says she gets a lot of attention when it is worn. Jan made this flaming sunrise scarf, a self-designed project. She used Creative DK in yellow and orange, along with Must Stash in Exploding Rainbow. The Creative DK was the door prize at the DFW Fiber Fest. She faded the 2 yarns together. It is an infinity Mobius scarf. She entered it into the State Fair of Texas Creative Arts Competition for crochet as an original design and won 3rd place. Kathy self-designed this keyhole scarf using Lion brand homespun and gemstone stripes. This is a one-skein keyhole scarf. It is a lovely, quick, and simple scarf that would look good on anyone. The pattern is a 2-row repeat with half double crochet and double crochet stitches. Teresa made this 7-tier flower scarf by Church Mouse Yarns using Megs & Co. BFL sock. Bonnie self-designed this quadrotriticale shawl. Yeah, it's a mouthful. She used Knobby Stash by Created For You by Laura. This is an asymmetrically crocheted design that can be worn as a scarf or a shawl. It is a Star Trek design that is out of this world. It is named for a fictitious type of wheat called a quadrotriticale. Tribbles love to eat it, especially during interplanetary travel. The episode The Trouble of Tribbles tells the whole story, including the consumption of Romulan. It is remarkably similar to the color of the scarf, with features both the large and small wheat crochet cables. Edith designed the Echo scarf out of Chaos Fiber Company Deluxe sock. She said the pattern shows off her love of crochet pineapples and an enjoyment of symmetry. Her pattern was published in the July 2024 issue of Crochet Foundry magazine. Amber designed this Stars to Betsy evening wrap in Peyton's Grace, Snow, and Orchid. You can get the pattern with a donation to the CGOA. It was designed for the CGOA design call in 2023.